What is up, Black Diamond Club,
And
YouTube,
friends.
and the entire United States of America and world? Welcome to BDC Live. So great to see all of you on this beautiful, gorgeous Wednesday. Tonight, we are giving away $600. We're super pumped up. Yes, this is going to be great.
It's going to be great. It's going to be wonderful. Yes. Everybody's coming on. We're excited.
Come one, come all.
Yay.
Everybody, come on. Get on in the BDC Live. Tonight we are talking about 5 pitfalls that are preventing you from leveling up. Super excited. Call your friends. You know what to do. Make sure that you have subscribed to this channel. Make sure that you hit that little ding dong bell.
The bell.
Make sure that you are getting notifications so that you know when we go live, and make sure you share. That's the rules. Just share tonight's broadcast. Tonight we're giving away $600. You know how that works. We're going to draw 6 names out of all of our Black Diamond Club members. If we call your name, you are a winner, but you must be present live with us to claim the prize. So if you're not here live, we go on to the next name. And if we call 6 names and nobody is here to claim your prize, well, Lacey and I throw in another Benjamin next week, and it rolls up to $700. I thought we were already at 700. Are you sure we're at 6 and not 7? Pat saying $600. We got Pat Kimball on the microphone tonight. Producer Pat, he is here.
Producer Pat.
Look at producer Pat.
Patty all thumbs.
Pat's selling Pat's selling a farm. If you would like to buy Patty Ice's farm, reach out to Pat.
Does not come with animals.
Pat.
Maybe.
Work that in.
Pat at blackdiamondclub.com. You could buy Pat's farm.
Yeah.
You should reach out to him.
And Pat would happily negotiate the animals, it sounds like.
100%.
Lots of chickens.
Some price off if you
Listen, this is a cash cow though. This is a great investment. Get a farm. How many chickens would they get with the farm?
36.
About $1.25.
125 chickens.
Do you know how much eggs are right now? All you would have to do is just get those eggs rolling, sell those eggs.
A lot of Korean fried chicken too.
Yeah, you could make a lot of Korean fried chicken. Somebody needs to buy Pat's farm. Make sure that you have subscribed to the channel, you've hit the ding dong bell, and that you have shared tonight's broadcast with your friends. We're giving away $600. We're also talking about 5 pitfalls that some of y'all are making that are stopping you from reaching your full potential. We got a couple announcements. Let's see.
Let's do it.
What do we got for the fine folks at home today? Patty Ice, what do you got?
I think
All right,
we
what's
can
up
start
first?
with
So much stuff.
Dealer's choice.
We got VCon.
We got VCon coming up. So in a little over a week, Gary Vaynerchuk is hosting VCon right here in Indianapolis, and lots of really cool people are rolling in for VCon.
I think we have how many are on the list?
Oh, there's over 50. We're oversold. We're oversold. Yeah. All the people that think that we can't sell, we're once again oversold. $2,500 a ticket. If you want a ticket, then you can maybe hit up Patty Ice, Pat at blackdiamondclub.com. We'll have to see what we can do. But look, I just want to tell you what you miss out by not taking action. We've got David Meltzer. We've got Jim Quick. They're going to be doing a fireside chat. We've got Michael Chandler. We've got Austin Eckler. We've got added. So this is an old one. We've got Clinton Sparks. We've got Jeff Hoffman. He's the founder of Priceline. And hey, everybody who is registered.
You forgot my favorite person.
Who?
You.
I'm just. I'm gonna be just there. I'll be the MC. And then we have, hey, everybody who is registered, special surprise. Everyone who is registered for the mastermind dinner, you are all exclusively invited to Tom Bilyeu's after party with us. We're gonna head on over. So listen, this thing pops off at 6 p.m. We're not planning on wrapping up until 10. We're gonna be eating over the top, amazing food from our friends at Prime 47. We're gonna be drinking over the top, amazing cocktails and wine. Everything is included. You're going to be hearing from every guest: Meltzer, Chandler, Jim Quick, Austin Eckler, Bob Hoffman, Clinton Sparks. We're going to be absolutely tearing it up, and then we're going to pile everybody up into the vehicles. We've arranged transportation from
The
downtown.
vehicles.
We're going to load everybody up. We're going to take them all over to
The only
the
thing
Tom
that's not
Billiou
over the-
after party. Who loves Tom Billiou?
I mean, yeah.
Raise your hand if you love Tom Billiou and you
love
want to
Lisa.
party with Tom Billiou.
wonder
Who
if
loves
she
Lisa
will be
Billiou?
there.
Lisa will be there,
Yeah,
of course.
that's
Lisa will be there.
amazing.
It's going to be absolutely awesome. Can't wait to host you guys that are signed up. And if you're not signed up and you want to be signed up, it is technically too full. But you know how we roll. We got to accommodate the people. And if you want to be in that room, we're going to talk about that as one of the 5 things you need to do to level up. Then you need to let us know. You want to jump into a couple of the 5 things?
No, we've got more announcements.
Well, I don't want to do all the announcements.
Oh, okay. Let's give the number one.
Yeah, number
thing.
1. Yeah, number 1 is I wrote it down here on my phone for you, and then you have a sore throat apparently.
Why are you calling me out?
Well, because you're supposed to announce the 5 things.
Okay.
So, no.
Thing
Okay.
number 1.
Put it on your screen. Why are you taking my phone?
Because I'm manning the YouTube tonight. My throat. 5 pitfalls. Pitfall number 1: surrounding yourself with the wrong people, including your team. This is something that could definitely prevent you from leveling up.
Yeah.
The overall mindset. It's funny, actually. I was talking to somebody about this today on their coaching call about them feeling like they're dragging their employees
Around the track.
No,
No, how'd they say
Through
that?
the
That's my
mud.
line. Say that. I don't like dragging people around the track. I've been dragging a bunch of too overly large people that just felt like they're heavy. They
Energetically
weigh more.
large.
They have that's what I mean. Overly
Yeah.
large weight of energy. They weigh more than me, right? Like it's like you have the Murph. The body vest, the weighted vest,
Yeah.
and you're running the quarter mile. Like you're carrying their gunk, their junk around the track. I always talk about
and-
that. Like
yeah, and
trying to
it's
run
all-
with a weighted vest on is
It's
tough.
so important. I mean, it's already hard to run as an entrepreneur without the weighted vest. So I always say, like, a really good employee, like, they should be making you money, not costing you money. They should be infusing you with energy, not costing you energy. They should be relieving your stress, not causing you stress. So you need to ask yourself, like, what's the exchange here, right? Like, I'm paying these people to help elevate me, my vision, my company. And so again, I need to be getting an ROI on them. And it's not always directly money, right? I mean, we have to understand that there is some positions and things that people do that they're not directly collecting money for you, but if they're giving you space and time and infusing energy and, taking care of people, creating a great experience, then they're technically allowing you to make more money, which is also a return.
Okay, but not just your team. So
this
pitfall
says
number 1,
team.
it
This doesn't-
says especially or including. So pitfall number 1 is surrounding yourself with the wrong people. This also would include your friends and family. So sometimes you are taking advice from your parents who don't know anything about the business that you're in. And listen, and I want to make sure we're super clear. I'm not saying that they're not well-meaning. They care about you, but they just give poor advice. They tell you things like, oh, social media is a fad, or don't share too much on social media, or any of these things that might not be the best direction for you.
Well, people give
friends
advice
and
based
family.
on their own life experience. Like, so if you're around a lot of people that don't have similar life experiences as you, or are doing what you're trying to do, or have done what you're trying to do, it's really hard to take advice, right?
This is also mentors and coaches, right? So you talk a lot about, buying into somebody else's dream, hiring a coach that has basically look at the marketing that's out there where you have these coaches that are basically pitching you their dream, their lifestyle. Oh, look at me. I do this. If you want to do that too, then you should coach with me. Well, then what you do is you end up buying their dream, right? Because you don't even understand that they're great marketers. I'm not knocking
Right.
them either. Kudos to them because they're so phenomenally good at marketing and sales that they convince you that you want something that you didn't want, right?
Right.
They convince you to buy in on a dream,
A vision
a
that's not
vision
your
that's
own.
not actually yours. We always say that the people who got you here may not be able to get you there. But listen, here's the crazy thing too, is there's comfort with the people that got you here, right? So it's kind of like your high school friends, right? And I'm at an age, and now you're getting to be at an age where you talk like high school reunions, right? Like you go back and see the. You
You were
said the other
treading
day.
on thin ice there, buddy. I didn't know where you were
You
going
said
with
the
it.
other day.
You're right.
You
I
wondered
know.
what your high school classmates would think of you now, and you wonder
Right.
what so and so is doing or how are they doing, right? But when you go back, right, there's that comfort, like, oh, we were talking last
Yeah, I'm
night
coming
with
up on
Travis.
25-year reunion.
We
Yeah.
were talking with Travis Corcoran. Like, you listen to your music, and it brings you back to a time. Here's the thing. For most of you that watch this, it brings you back to a time that's less than where you are now. But
Right.
it's fun. It's comfortable. It's the people that you know. We laugh, we giggle, we tell jokes. But look, if you're going to level up, right? That's tonight's show. If you're going to level up, it's not about going backwards in time to find comfort. It's about going forward
Forwards.
in time to find discomfort.
Yep.
It's about being in that room. That's why I wanted to make sure we cover this point. It's about getting into the over the top mastermind and being in that room with people who have exited for $1 billion. Now, you're going to say, well, that makes me uncomfortable. Right.
Good.
That's the whole point. If you're trying to find the cheapest coach, well, then you're not. That's comfortable paying a low price because I went to the most comfortable price. But growth never
Comfort
happens
is
in
the
comfort.
silent thief.
Comfort is the silent thief. So listen, number one pitfall is being surrounded by all the wrong people. And I think that one of the clues, and this is interesting because we always say that all great coaching advice is counterintuitive. This is a counterintuitive one because, look, most of your decisions that you make are in an effort to seek comfort. In business, I disagree with that. I mean, of course, I don't want negativity. That's uncomfortable. We'll talk about that too. I don't want negativity. I don't want that level of uncomfortable. I want growth uncomfortable. I want, what if this doesn't work,
Right.
uncomfortable. I want that anxious nervousness that you feel right before greatness, right before something amazing happens in your life. I want to live in that space. I want to walk into a room of billionaires and not know a single one and think to myself, hey man, what do I have to say? But then the key, right? So this is not one of our points, but then the key is, then you've got to say, I've got plenty to say. I've got plenty to offer this room. I have the confidence. And if you don't have that confidence, again, find yourself a good coach, not one that convinces you to go down, but one that is able to lift you up and show you. We've got a couple of our clients, our private clients, rocking up into that room. I'm super proud of them. That'll be here with us at the Over the Top Mastermind. I'm sure they're uncomfortable.
Right.
I don't know how comfortable I am. I'm going into that room and being a part of that panel, but that's where growth happens.
Yeah. And that's what I love about this mastermind is that it's not like a BDC event. There's the majority of people that are there, like, you don't even know, right?
Right.
I mean,
Well,
the,
we got
the list of 50 people.
over 50 people coming. I don't know the 50 people.
Yeah.
These are some ballers rolling in from VCon. I know all the people that are presenting,
Right.
but the people in the room, and that's where the real value is, right? The real value is all of the other people in the room. And so I'm excited because I get to meet all of the people that are going to be in the room. And that's
Yeah.
where, we're able to broker deals, broker collaborations. We can expand our minds. We can learn what other people are doing in other industries, all of those super cool things.
Yeah. I love it. All right.
You got another
announcement?
another
Or are you gonna
announcement.
go?
Yeah, let's go announcement. We're finding a little bit of a rhythm here. Hey, speaking of getting in the right rooms and making yourself a little bit uncomfortable, we've got the Scotland experience
It's
coming up at the
4
Kinross
weeks away, is
Castle.
that
Look at
right?
that place.
Like
What?
3 weeks away.
What?
Like 3 and a
I don't
half.
even know what
Hey
day it is
man,
anymore.
if you're like
Yeah.
one of these like late planners, June, what is it? June 6th through the 8th, 3 days, three
Yeah.
full days, hanging out. David Meltzer, Julie Meltzer, Sean Dillon, Lacey Book. For those of you that are golf inclined, we're gonna hit up Glen Eagles on the day before, and then while we're there, we're gonna see if we can get on at St. Andrews, and so that'll be on bookending. We'll play a little golf there in Scotland, home of golf, where golf was created. But look at that picture. Look at that castle.
Beautiful.
You could be sleeping in that castle, eating. You think that the Prime 47 dinner is over the top. Wait till you see what we have prepared for every one of the attendees rolling up into Scotland, the Kinross Castle in Scotland, an experiential mastermind. You know what's cool about that is people's lives change when you get on a plane and go all the way to Scotland. You change your environment, right? You change your, because listen, routine is the killer of creativity. Routine is the killer of creativity. You want to grow, you want to learn, you want to expand what's possible. You can't sit there and be in your same routine. Listen, even if you're not going to Scotland, here's the thing: like, go tomorrow, make a note, put a little note on your alarm in your phone, and just do your morning routine. That's why I don't like morning routines too. Do it in a different order. Do
Yep.
something you start your day every day with the exact same thing. You get your coffee, you stand right there, you do your meditation, and then all of a sudden, right, you get your neurology programmed, and you get in the same routine. Some of you right
Do you know
now,
what
you're in a
routine is
rut.
too? It's being comfortable.
Right. But
Right.
some people
Routine
are
is
in a rut
easy.
and you can't
It's
figure out why
yeah.
you're in a rut. And that's because you launch your day every day with the exact same programming. So of course, like you get it rolling, and then of course the rest of the day it just plays itself out in
The
the
way that it
exact
always
same
does.
format, the
Yes.
way that it always does. Change your routine. And if you want to go high level, change your routine, well, then get to the Scotland Mastermind. We have one spot left.
Get up, get out,
One
and get
spot left.
somewhere.
You just got to hit up. Who are we hitting up? Hit up Megan.
Yeah, we
Megan
have one
at
spot.
blackdiamondclub.com. Megan. Megan at blackdiamondclub.com. Tell her that you want to claim that last spot for the Scotland Mastermind. I got to tell you this though. Next Friday, we are picking up. Not we. Pat's picking up Michael Chandler at the airport,
Yeah.
bringing him over for the VCon and the Mastermind dinner. And he's told me that he wants that spot. So we'll see, man. It would be pretty cool. You might not be able to get that spot because you would have to like fight or arm wrestle Michael Chandler for that. I don't know who would win.
How many arms can I use? If like
Go ahead, use all four of them. But
I
you're
don't
still
have
gonna lose.
4 arms.
But you're still gonna lose. You use 4 arms,
2
you're
arms
gonna
and
lose.
2 legs.
Hey, did anybody see
try
the
an arm
did anybody
bar
see
in.
the Ultimate Fighter preview come
Yeah,
out
that was
where
killer.
Connor pushes Michael in the throat? Can't wait to ask him about that. Michael posted on Instagram. He was
Yeah.
like, "Hey, didn't hardly feel it."
Well, that's fun. All right, number 2 pitfall. Number 2, not managing your time.
Yeah,
I love. Wait,
one
this
of the
is
big
so
ones.
appropriate. If you could put up Rhonda Marshall right now, her message is, "I'm late. My phone didn't remind me." Number 2, not managing your time. I'm just kidding.
Second
Rhonda.
biggest
We know
biggest
you show
pitfall
up.
you can make when attempting to level up.
Yeah.
So many people that they talk about this, like, if I can manage my time, if I could fit it in, if I could figure out my time. Time is a great equalizer,
Yes.
right? Because it's the thing that just levels the entire world. We all are getting 60 seconds in a minute, and 60 minutes in an hour, and 24 hours in a day. Like it's equal. It's equal for everybody. It's the great equalizer. And so time is really, and people talk about time management. Really it's self-management.
Yep.
How you manage yourself and your disciplines around your time. Again, last night we were sitting around the fire pit talking to Travis about how crazy obsessed we have become about the management of our time.
I know. He was shocked at how crazy obsessed we are. Yeah, we've been talking about this a lot because we're seeing more and more how often we can have this conversation with people and how little they take action, right? And so it's been something we're focusing on. We've got Brandon Brown on here saying he's becoming a student of his calendar. It's been super challenging, and I think that that's the biggest thing is because it is very challenging. That's why it's a great equalizer.
It's also
a
challenging
fight.
because you are looking yourself in the mirror. You're when you really get serious about managing your time, you got to be really honest about where your time goes. And I think a lot of people just don't want to be that honest about how much time they blow playing video games, smoking the weed, doing all kinds of
Probably
just
loves that.
nonsensical baloney.
Yeah.
But they have desires. Like people are always telling me, like, I wish I could. Sean, how do you juggle all these things? Well, I just manage myself around the 60 seconds of every minute and 60 minutes of every hour, and I manage myself around those constructs of time to get as much done as possible. And I don't blow time doing nonsensical things. Now, that's
Right.
not to say that I work all the time. It's that when I'm even constructive about the time. I played golf today. I did play golf, by the way. I play golf on Wednesdays with my buddy Mitch, not Kupchak, Mitch Conway, Mitch Kupchak, Whipsaw, and I. But we can play 18 holes. We get an early tee time on
quick.
Wednesdays, and we play 18 holes in 3 hours. So we go out, but that's managing my time. And we're not running. Right, we're not running. We're just out first, and so there's nobody ahead of us. And we play as a twosome, and we go out there and we get our round of golf, and we're still able to have a conversation. But that's scheduled.
Yep.
Right, and at the end of it, like we say goodbye, so I don't roll up into the clubhouse and have a beer or waste time or get lost in the country club and wonder what happened to my day because I was eating minestrone soup. I structure my time. If I want to play golf, it's got to be in the calendar. We go, we get it done. It's fun. Then we go on to the next thing.
Yep.
Today we recorded a whole lot of interviews.
We did like
Both
5
where we were
hours of
being
recording
interviewed
today
and where we were
with a
interviewing.
sore throat.
We rocked up a Cairo Sushi episode with Grant. We got all kinds of stuff, but it's just because it's all scheduled.
Right.
It's all
And
scheduled.
we stay on schedule. I mean, any of you that have been to a BDC event, you know how obsessed we are about staying on schedule. So that's exactly why we're able to do what we do. A shout out to BDC certified coach Julie Bronze because she just created a time workshop on managing your time better and creating more time. So I think, you know what, I don't want to speak for her, but if you want that workshop or get your hands on it, it's either free or low barrier entry price. So reach out to her because I know that she's just getting that recorded for everybody.
Awesome.
So
Good job, Julie.
yeah, because it's again, it's one of those things like looking at what people are struggling with and asking how can I provide a solution for that. And again, the number one thing that we see, one of the major pitfalls is not managing your time, which truly comes down to not managing yourself. So
What we got next, Patrick?
what do you got?
Announcement wise?
Yeah, what do we got for an announcement?
Cairo Sushi.
Oh, dang.
We mentioned
The
it.
relaunch
Yeah.
of Samurai of Cairo Sushi. Hey, man, we also dropped today, if you jump on my Facebook profile, we dropped my keynote talk from Sherman College where I outlined my vision for chiropractic
Yes.
and Sherman College. I know a lot of people wanted to grab that. You got to jump on, you got to go on Facebook, you got to find the link, you got to click on it. We're going to drop it to you. That's absolutely
I
free.
think it was, I mean, I've obviously heard you speak countless times. I can't even tell you.
13 times.
Right. Like 13 times in the last, what, hour? No. But I've seen you speak on stage a lot. This is one of your best talks ever.
Well, you got to get it, folks. And here's the thing, because I know all the people who are getting it, they're the raving fans. As they want to get it, they're the raving fans. And we're asking you, please also share this talk. Put it in those groups, where they're mad because, we got something going here very special with the Samurai of Cairo Sushi. Join us there, kairosushi.com. Jump in, join us there. People are asking, so first of all, why are you doing this? Well, it was just time for a refresh. Got kind of stale. And nobody likes that stale grocery store, gas station sushi. You're wondering some...
That's the stuff you get sick off of.
Yeah, some white guy made that. You're like, this was terrible. So we wanted to get fresh.
We got the Japanese guy to make sushi.
Yeah, we got the Japanese guy in there. We wanted to freshen it up. But people are
Yeah.
asking, what are you doing? And in fact, I'm
Yeah.
considering, I've been working hard on this. I'm probably going to do a rebrand on this because Cairo Sushi doesn't really say what it is.
Right, so people can't connect
and
with it.
It's an information network is what it is. And we're dropping information about the reality. I wanted to actually take this sort of period in my career as a chiropractor, but I'm going to do it with other professions. And people, probably might get an idea of kind of the angle that we might be going in, you and I, business-wise, because I want to start to share. We live in this world where Tucker Carlson got booted off of Fox News. Now, whether you like Tucker or not, he had his show, gets kicked off, and now he just announced he's going to be disseminating information on Twitter. So he's going to, his show or his information, he's going to be
Good for him.
putting it on Twitter, which he claims is the only free speech platform that's out there. Well, I got to tell you, at least in the chiropractic space, right? Like they're not censoring, on Facebook inside of our Cairo Sushi Facebook group.
Right.
They're not censoring our ability to talk about the CCE, the FCLB, the NCL,
Things
the
that as a
CCA,
chiropractor, these things would directly affect you. You need to
Yeah,
know.
you guys don't know that
Yeah,
there's
it's important.
legislation,
Be in the
there's
know.
there's research, there's all kinds of stuff going on. So here's what's happening on the platform. We're gonna be dropping weekly shows, and we're starting where our first personality that we're introducing to the profession is Dr. Grant Dennis, and we are debuting the official episode Grant's Rants next Monday. So we've wrapped that up. We're in production on that, and it'll drop next Monday at 8 p.m. You've got to be a member. You've got to be on the platform to view it. Then we're going to be adding other personalities. When we get done polishing this
there'll
up,
be multiple
we're going to
shows
be
for you to
dropping,
watch.
yes, when we get done, we're going to be dropping 5 shows a week on philosophy, science, art, research, politics, and business with different personalities. And we're going to be, it's not an advertisement. You know those guys that like, try and entice you to get their Zoom link so that they can pitch you something? This is going to be deep undercover uncovering of what is really going on in the world of chiropractic. You want to reach more people, then you can't sit there and be a part of the social club.
Right.
You've got to get in there and you got to roll up your sleeves and do the work. So if you want to do that, because you and I have been behind the scenes doing work for a little while.
Yes.
If you want to do that, join us, kairosushi.com. If you don't want to do that and you just like free stuff, jump on my profile, get a copy, where I laid out in my keynote, Sherman Lyceum, 50th anniversary, I laid out my vision for the future of chiropractic. I would love for you to get a copy of that. And I would love for you to get that into the hands of all of the naysayers, the anti-Seans, the people that say that Sean sold out, doesn't do chiropractic, yada, yada, blah, 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 blah. They're just selling stuff.
Right. Pitfall number 3.
What is it?
Not understanding how expenses work. Also, not truly understanding growth versus scale. I think this is really important. You've been talking about growth versus scale for a couple of years now.
A couple of years, and I love seeing
Yeah.
all the gurus jumping on that bandwagon too. I'm seeing it pop up. The people that know scale and say, I know scale. Well, we've been talking about growth versus scale. A lot of people, when they're talking scale, they're actually talking about growth, which is they're two different things. Growth tends to be more linear. It's money in, money out. Scale gets you that hockey stick exponential growth. Growth does not have to be slow. In fact, scale does not have to be slow.
Right.
I see a lot of discussion like you should have slow scale. Well, that's by definition exponential. The hockey stick, it accelerates. It doesn't just go slow. So growth is slow.
Right.
Slow growth, but scale happens quickly. But
Quickly.
oftentimes what happens is people aren't ready for scale.
Yes.
And because it happens, it sneaks up on you, and then you kind of break your own business and you run into issues. But what I wanted to talk about here is expenses. I think most people, especially now, because we have this downturn happening in the economy, and people, they feel a squeeze. And so the first thing that every business owner thinks is, I got to cut expenses. I have a lot of conversations with people.
Yeah.
I got to
People say
cut
that all the
expenses.
time.
I'm going to get a cheaper coach. I'm going to get I'm going to drop my membership to the things that are important. I'm going to cut back my marketing. Well, you're just literally like cutting off your own thumb. Like try and navigate the world with no thumbs. That's what you're doing when you cut the wrong expenses. I want you to understand something. The reason why you would have an expense, the reason why expenses is to drive revenue. I think most people don't understand that. The reason why an expense is to drive revenue. And so here's what you do. You don't necessarily cut expenses, but at all times,
Right.
in good times and in bad, you need to think about each expense and ask yourself, what revenue does this expense drive?
Right.
What revenue does this drive? And so when you have expenses that drive revenue, even though they may be so-called high, the expenses drive revenue and you cut them, you are then by definition going to experience a decrease in revenue. Then you get the decrease in revenue and you hit the panic button and you cut more expenses. Here's the thing. In a down economy, pitfall number 3, you must learn how to throw money, and I literally mean that, throw money through expenses at expenses that will produce a higher ROI than the expenses that you had yesterday. That's the key. That's how you win.
And listen, this is really important because I think that, yes, this is all good in theory for you to talk about, but the problem is that people don't keep enough track of the things that they're investing in and the expenses that they have on their books to actually understand what the ROI is. So the first step is if you want to crisis proof your business, if you want to be prepared to weather the storm, you need to start keeping track of the money that you're spending, where it's going, the revenue that it's driving, but actually have good solid numbers on it. So that when you get into a place of stress, or maybe you get into a place where you're fearful, you can actually go back to your numbers and have objective information to drive your decisions instead of doing it out of emotion, right? Because emotional-based decisions in business are a very dangerous game to play. So start now. Let's prep you now, right? By actually looking at those things.
There's a lot of expenses on your P&L that you need to take a look at, and you need to be honest with yourself because a lot of expenses are also action driven or accountability driven. If we're running ads or amplification strategies on social media, but you're not creating content, that's your fault.
Yep.
You just look at the other person and be like, hey, it's not working, but you're not giving them any content to amplify. So that's your fault. You need to also look at your expenses and say, listen, these are action driven expenses.
Right.
If I hire a premier coach, but I never go on the calls, that's my fault.
Yes.
Right. So I'm not getting any strategy. And so what happens is then people are like, I'm going to cut my coaching with Jay Abraham because I'm not going on the calls. Why don't you just go on the calls and get the ROI rather than cut the expense and cut yourself off from the source of information and strategy that will help you to grow your business? And that is a plug for, if you're using Jay Abraham, you got to go on the calls.
Yeah.
Right? You got to go on the calls. It doesn't make any sense for you to stop the source of the flow because you are attempting to eliminate expenses, but what you don't understand is you're eliminating revenue.
And you need to understand how it will impact your future self, right? So a lot of people, one of the things that they do is they go into the business and they cut people, right?
Yeah.
Human resource.
I'm going to have to let the people go.
Okay. Well, it's one thing if like we talked about earlier, you're dragging the weight of that employee, they're not giving you a return. But man, if that employee, if you have an employee in a position, in a place that is providing you the opportunity to do more things that generate revenue, and then you go and get rid of them, you're actually handcuffing your ability to, in a downturn market, create and generate the revenue that's necessary to keep the business going. And you're going to have to do the job of that employee that you cut. That's also a dangerous game. So you also need to think about what are the time repercussions on me and what are the energetic repercussions on me and the financial repercussions if I do A, B, and C. So
Well,
important.
a big difference between cutting somebody because they're a dud, cut all the duds right now, immediately, call them in tomorrow, be like, hey, man, you're gone. And cutting somebody because you're hitting the panic button. Cutting somebody who's not a dud, but you think this is a cost-saving move that ends up being a revenue-defeating and a time-depleting move on your part. Make sure that you get that right. That will absolutely kill you.
Can we draw a name? Because,
Good.
we've got
a lot of things going on.
We got a lot
here.
going on today.
All right, let's draw a couple names
We still
there,
have
Patty
two
Ice.
more things.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. And now,
Producer Pat.
it's time!
I think I'm going to play that on repeat.
Oh, yeah. Would you pick Michael up? All right.
All right.
All right, hold on. Let's get this first name. All righty. Get this lined up. And play Henry Frymuth. Not Fryermuth.
Henry Frymuth.
Henry.
You have won $600. All you got to do is be like, yo, give me my money. And Lacey and I send money. I mean, again, you got
Be
all
here.
the ballers out
We have a
there.
lot
We're
of
just
new
giving
people,
money
and we
away.
have a lot of new people coming in too.
A
and
lot of
we're
new
gonna
people.
say-
Yeah, when you're new, you just jump right in. Is Henry here? I like Henry's name. That's my middle name, Henry.
You know, we should probably let people know in BDC because we do have a lot of new people coming in. We have C3 ramping up, people coming in for C3. Our BDC certified coaches have people coming in. We need to let these new peeps in the BDC members group
Dang.
know
Just
that
when
you're-
they thought that we were crippled, that we were
that
going
you
down.
have the opportunity to win a lot of money.
Loser.
Henry's
Henry's not a loser, but the
No, you're not a
naysayers,
loser.
the negative Nellies out there
All
that
right,
thought they had
let's
us
do
down.
one more
Uno Mas.
name.
All right.
Uno Mas. All right. Okie dokie. Going.
Hank.
Oh,
Stephanie
lives.
It's so funny.
San Diego's in the house.
Stephanie
Stephanie
I
lives.
just
Woo.
read a post that people were sharing of hers.
Nice.
She's,
Oh.
yeah, what?
I said nice.
Oh.
You just said you read a post that people were sharing.
Of hers. No, I mean there's like a lot
Stephanie
of.
is like the pediatric.
Yeah, she talks all about peace. She's
Badass.
got very
Yes.
strong views, and she writes great content.
Everybody check
Stephanie-
out Stephanie. Maybe it'll make her feel a little bit better. I don't know. Did she answer?
No, she
Maybe
didn't.
it'll make her feel
But
better.
President Jack
for
Borla is on the
missing
call.
out. Oh,
Everybody's
man.
saying congratulations.
Congratulations, Jackie. Jack Martin Burla. What is that?
I got to tell you, I really had a moment watching the two of you up there together for the investiture.
You had a moment.
I did. It was a moment for me. It was amazing to watch, amazing to be part of and see, because we've known Jack for a very long time, very, very long time. So, been a good friend of ours.
Trying to get Jack to be one of our personalities
I
on
know.
Tyler Sushi. Can you imagine? We could have the presidential power hour
Ooh.
with Jack Martine.
Who votes Jack
Gorilla.
comes on for Presidential Power Hour
Wouldn't that
show
be great if we had the
in-
presidential power hour on the Tyler Sushi
That would be
Information Network? Come on now.
Yep. All right. Do we have any more announcements?
Yeah.
Oh,
we got 'em
did.
all? Okay.
Okay. Jack's in.
We got Money Matters. I'm super pumped up.
Come on.
Clinton
Listen.
Sparks is rocking back up into Indianapolis. Clinton Sparks hanging out on the Billboard charts. He's back up there with Lady Gaga and Bloody Maria. He's hanging around, just hanging around.
Yeah.
They can't shake this guy. Clinton Sparks is going to be, Clinton Sparks taught Shaq Diesel how to DJ too.
Yeah.
So DJ Clinton Sparks, he's not going to be DJing. He's going to
No.
be talking about money. He's going to be talking about mindset. He's going to be talking about what it takes to grow and climb the ladder of success.
And-
We've got Mark Murphy.
Yeah.
Man, I'm super excited. We're going to be
So
announcing
much
a cool
money,
partnership
yeah.
with Mark Murphy at Money Matters.
So
and it's
much
going to
money.
help so many
Information
of
and
you. It's
talk.
going to help you guys tremendously. It's going to be absolutely incredible. We've got Dave Meltzer dropping in, of course. It's going to be just a phenomenal weekend. Make sure you get your tickets. Go to blackdiamondclub.com, click on that events tab, or I think it just says Money Matters.
This is
Somewhere
what you,
on
this
there
is
you
one
can
of
get in.
everybody loves sales and they love marketing because they have a self-assessment that that's what they need in order to grow their business.
We're
but
telling
I
you.
am telling you, I am actually telling you that what you need is Money Matters,
You need
because
Money Matters.
it doesn't matter if you utilize sales strategies and marketing strategies and generate a lot of revenue if you don't know what to do with that revenue next. And you have mindsets that stop you from either generating the revenue or utilizing the money to make you more money. So really important for you to come and educate yourself on this. 5 pitfalls. Number 4, not understanding the value of a lead. It kind of rolls back
kinda
into,
said that.
yeah.
No, it doesn't. It's you said like everybody self-evaluates. They don't understand. They think they need more marketing and they think they need more sales.
Right.
And ultimately, they really want sales. So they only market. The only reason they do marketing is because they're just trying to get sales. They don't think that they have a money mindset issue at all. Meanwhile, if you look at like 90% of our coaching call conversations, they deal with money and people's mindsets and screwing up the money. It's easy to generate it.
Yes.
Even, again, I would never do this publicly, but I can give you a list of coaches who
Oh, I was like, you're
generate
about to do it
revenue.
publicly.
They
What's
generate
happening?
revenue, but their own money is all jacked
Screwed
up.
up,
Like,
yeah.
and so it's easy to generate revenue. It's hard to get your mind straight around money. Next thing though is it's easy to sell. Like, and this whole thing, like, oh, I'm a sales trainer, right? But here's the thing that's hard is I could be a stone cold killer. I could be a stone cold closer. But if I don't have anybody to close, what's
got
the
a
point?
problem. Yeah.
And so the real value is in having leads. Now, if I had 1,000 people that were waiting and they're shaking $100 bills at me saying, Sean, take my money. I couldn't take all of their money. How would I talk to the 1,000 people? But if I have an empty room and I'm an amazing, amazing closer, well, I'm going to lose. And so many people just really minimize the value of a lead. This is one of the things that stops you from getting to the next level because you keep investing in all of these sales trainings, but you don't have leads. You need to understand the lead generation strategies that will produce the leads that you can sell to. You still got to be good at sales.
I think part of the problem too is not that they just minimize the value of a lead. It's that because the value of a lead that they get is so low because they don't do anything with them. So really, they may look at a lead acquisition and be like, I don't want to dump a lot of money into that because my leads never convert. These leads aren't good. The value of that lead is negligible. Well, that's oftentimes because you don't have strategies and systems in place to actually move a lead, a warm lead, into a converted client, right? And so the first thing you have to say is if you don't understand the value of a lead, you have to say, do I need to take accountability and responsibility for that? Is it in part because I don't do anything with the leads that I get?
I gotta tell you too, we are dropping a None of Your Business podcast here in the next couple of weeks. Spoke today to a gentleman out of Europe who's had 2 exits with billions in front of it, right?
Yes,
2
each
exits.
exit
Each
was
exit was
over
over
$1
$1 billion.
Like, it's
And he was like, and
insane.
I'm not even in it for the money. And I
And I don't even care.
want to help people to understand. I want to educate people on health and wealth. But he had this interesting thing. He said people don't understand in the world the difference between money and currency.
Right. This was
And
really
I
interesting.
mean, this is so great. And I'm not going to tell you what the answer is because you're going to have to
Listen
make sure
to the
that
None
you
of Your
have
Business
subscribed to the
podcast.
None of Your Business podcast. But it was so fascinating. And this guy, literally, after he has exited twice, and both times for over $1 billion, both times for over $1 billion, he's like, people in the world don't understand money.
Right.
He's like, Sean, people don't understand money. They need to get to money matters. And here you got all these people, everybody watches the program. They think that they don't have a money issue. This is a billionaire saying, I've traveled the world. I've traveled the entire world. And he said there was two common things that I discovered. People are undereducated
Education,
about money and about health, which is why we super resonate. It's two of our favorite topics. In fact, my stand for statement is I stand for a world where health and success, AKA money, are known as fundamental truths rather than fundamental pursuits. And if you don't understand the difference between money and currency, not me,
Yep.
our guest today, he said, you are in big trouble.
Yep.
He was like, you're in big trouble
Very,
if
very
you do not
interesting
understand
conversation. So
the
please
difference
listen
between
to
money
that.
and currency.
Yeah.
Listen to that, and if you need more, because that's a 30-minute episode.
He was low-key hilarious too,
He
but he
was.
had
He was
some
funny.
really good philosophies and insights, I
yeah,
thought.
he
And
was
so I
killing
thought it was a really great interview. Yeah.
Guy started
All
out as a truck driver too.
He did. Yeah.
Started out as a truck driver. Number 5.
Allowing negativity to affect your progress. I was going to say, if we don't say that mindset is one of the major pitfalls, we've surely missed out.
I love this because our great friend, I think it's this week. I think that we are on Ben Newman's Burn podcast.
We are.
Check that out. The Ben Newman Burn podcast. Ben Newman is a very special guy. You're going to be seeing him at a BDC event for sure in the near future. Love working with him. Love collaborating with him. On that, the reason why I love Ben is that he talks about living your life according to standards, not emotions. Well, negativity, right? Negativity is one of those things, and this is how you avoid it: is you live your life by standards. Of course, I'm not immune to it. I'm aware. I am conscious of all of the nonsense that people say about me, the emails, the posts, the subtle jabs, and I am aware of it. But here's the thing: is that our business runs by standards. We always talk about that. I love Mike Tomlin from the Pittsburgh Steelers. And on the wall in the locker room, in the Pittsburgh Steelers locker room, it says the standard is the standards. It doesn't matter what they're saying about you. It doesn't matter that so-and-so wrote an email. It also doesn't matter that the starting center went down injured. It doesn't matter who's playing. It doesn't matter if you're tired. You live your life by standards, not emotions. And so many people, though, they're afraid. They're afraid to put themselves out there. They're afraid to share. We did another great podcast today with a guest that was very open and vulnerable.
Right.
Emotionally moved to tears at one point because they were sharing their story. And I was thinking wow, all of our podcast listeners, they're watching this, they're listening to this, but they were like, look, I don't care because I want to share because I want to help people. I want to share my story. If you were worried that people were going to say, oh, you're crying, or oh, you're sharing too much, or oh, then you would never share, and your full impact in the world would never be reached. Also, your own success will never be reached. As we talk about going to the next level, you can't allow those people. So this kind of goes back to number 1. Negative people hold you back. Negative people pull you back. Negative people don't want to see you excel. And so when you allow their emotions to dictate your actions, then you're in trouble.
Oh, but let's just also say that sometimes that negative person is you.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's not just the external negativity that we don't want you to allow to affect your progress or creep in, but it's also the internal negativity, right? And so you have to be consciously aware of both of them and figure out ways to work through both things, right? Because the reality of it is it's never going to go away. Brian Hall's on here saying the enemy is necessary, and the enemy will always be present, ever present, right? Always around. And so you have to figure out, how do you create enough of a shield within yourself, internally and externally, to make sure that you can manage that.
Coach Brian Hall is going to be at the Over the Top Mastermind dinner
man, I'm
as
just,
well. So,
missing
man,
out.
I can't wait to see you, Brian's super excited. Get you plugged in. In fact, one of the people that we did the podcast with, we mentioned Brian to them when they got done with their interview. I was like, hey, I'm going to connect you because they're also going to the Over the Top Mastermind. So maybe I do know a lot of people going to the Mastermind. I don't know.
Yeah. Sounds like it. All right.
It's going to be great.
All
Let's
right.
give away some money.
Let's do it. We got how many more names?
Ladies and
3 more
gentlemen,
names to go.
this is the main event of the evening.
Give us a split
And
screen.
now, it's time!
That's my middle name.
Yeah, it is.
You know, that's all right.
That's why he's Shank.
Absolutely.
Sean Hank Williams.
All right. Name number
Last night.
Tina
Oh,
Gillenfeld.
I thought he was going to say Tina
Is that
Gottlieb.
correct?
Tina Gellenfeld.
Tina Gellenfeld. Well, you can see your name, Tina. If we're saying it
Tina.
wrong, at least it's written properly. Tina Gellenfeld. You've won $600. All you got to do is say, give me that money. That's my money.
Tina, where are you at?
We'll be sending you $600.
You know, that's really funny. Aaron is asking why Paul always has a wrench next to his name. I never understood that. And Paul's the only one that is a different color on my screen.
The blue one?
Yes, the blue one. Somebody needs to figure out what that means. Nobody knows. Yeah, he's the fixer.
We got a lot of people jumping in and grabbing that copy of my Lyceum talk, my vision for the future of chiropractic from Sherman Lyceum.
Oh, we got Tina Tang
Make
on
sure that
here.
you jump in. Check out my Facebook profile. My Facebook profile, the link is there. And I'd love for you to get a copy of that. And I'd love for you to share that. Put that link everywhere. Put that link all over the place. More people need to hear what's going down, what I think is happening. More people need to know. They don't have to like it. I didn't say more people need to get on board. I didn't say that. More people just need to know. You got to know what's out there. Love for you to hear it. Love to hear your thoughts, too. Listen to it, and if you think it sucks, email pat@blackdiamondclub.com. Tell him, hey, man, that sucked. If you loved it, email me. Let me know. I would love to hear it. Don't email Pat. Email me.
I really,
I expect no
Only email
emails.
Pat
Yeah.
if you hated it.
I really wish that we could give away some money tonight. I hope somebody
All right,
wins
let's do it.
because listen, because you keep talking about that giving and receiving happens through the same little pinhole.
Yeah, so many
right?
people are trying to receive through like a giant fire hose, but they give through a pinhole.
Right, and I want to give through a fire hose
Can you
so I can
imagine-
receive through a fire hose.
Can you imagine the fire that your house is on fire
Take my
and
money.
the firemen show up and they got little syringes and they're like, pss, 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 pss. And you're like, hey, dude, what are you doing?
Why does the fire keep going?
Why is the
Why
fire
is the
going?
fire
Because you keep
come out?
squirting it with a syringe. You get a little water gun. Remember those squirt guns when you were a kid?
Yeah, they
but
still have
you're,
squirt
you're
guns.
like you're like
Oh,
doing,
you mean like the really cheesy
yeah, the little one,
plastic
yeah, the little
ones?
one, the little hole, and they're squirting that, and you're like, hey, how come the fire's not going out? But listen, you guys got to learn how to give through a fire hose. You
Yeah.
need to call up Jack Borland and say, I'm trying to give. Hey, listen, as part of that, we gave during Lyceum because everybody, mostly you, I think, they say Lacey's all about the money.
That's right.
We gave away a year worth of Cairo Sushi to anybody who joined Sherman Regions. Now, when you join Sherman Regions, you know how much money we get for that? 0. Sorry, babe. I know you're all about the money, but you're giving away stuff and we're even giving away money here
Yeah.
because you're all about the money.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is look at her. You could tell she's all about the money. Everybody knows that. Lacey's all about she doesn't get out of bed for less than 100,000. It is what it is. $600 on the line. Who's next?
All right. Name number 4, kids. No, not Mr. Lee's not getting out of bed.
Oh,
Ever.
that was delayed.
I know. Sorry. All right.
Ooh.
Marilyn Wong.
Marilyn Wong. Let's go.
I feel like your timer was a little
Marilyn
bit quick on the
Wong.
draw. Okay,
We'll
we're
give
gonna
her a
Marilyn.
little more time. We'll give her
Yeah.
some grace.
Yes.
Marilyn Wong, you've won $600. Oh yeah. All you got to do is say, "Give me my
Marilyn,
money."
come on.
Come on, Marilyn. Take
And you
that,
know what,
snatch
no,
that money right out
honestly-
of Lacey's hand.
I am all about the money. I am all about the money for
so they're
everybody.
right.
I am about everybody receiving and living a life full of abundance and overflow. I think everybody should be able to have a lot of money, have freedom, and be able to give that money back into the things that they're passionate and purposeful about. So,
Speaking
yeah,
of overflow, that's
I
the
am.
name of the company that we created that will be running Book Yourself Solid, Land of Overflow. Because, of course, we're all about the money. In fact, it was cool, too. Like, we hired on Matthew Kimberly, and I was like, hey, Matthew, dude, you know that we just want to make sure that everybody's happy here. We're happy we could pay Matthew well. And he's going to be heading up sales and all things Book Yourself Solid for us.
We're excited. For those non-Kairos, Lyceum is the annual homecoming that Sherman hosts every single year, and this happened to be their 50th Lyceum.
I gotta tell you though, I gotta
So-
say, even if you're a non-chiropractor, that talk will prove to be quite useful for you.
Yeah, you
It
can
will prove to
definitely
be
extract
useful.
some things that are very applicable
It'll prove
to
to be
business
useful.
and life. So, all right, do we have one more?
We got 2 more still.
Two more.
Two more. I
Two
still
more
have
chances.
two more.
Two
I
more
have 2 more
shots.
chances
Marilyn a little-
to be
like
all
2 to
about
3
the money
minutes,
for somebody
you know.
else. I'm all
There's
about
no
your
show.
money.
No show.
I'm all about your money.
That's not what they
no
say.
show, no money.
No show. Okay.
All right. Name number 5. Get this bad boy ready. Christopher Jex.
I haven't
Jex.
seen that name for a
Christopher
while.
Jex.
Christopher's been
Christopher Jex. Believe he's in Colorado.
Yeah, he's been in
Christopher
BDC
Jex.
for a while.
Trying to write you some checks.
Christopher Jex. Writing checks.
Come on, cash some checks.
Cash those
Christopher
checks,
Jex.
Christopher Jex. $600 checks coming to you. All you got to do is say, "Hey man, give me one of them Jex checks," and we'll send it to you.
Literally, then why is this so hard?
$600.
We have a tendency to get up towards like
Yeah, because everybody. That's the
1,000,
thing.
and
It's
then we,
weird.
like, we
Then all
win,
these
win,
people
win,
start
and then-
showing up
yeah.
because they're, it's like Easter church, right? Brian Hall knows about that Easter church.
Oh,
They show up
yeah.
on Easter because when the pot gets big, right? Then everybody
When
puts
mo-
on their
when more
their
things
suit.
are on the line,
Then they show
show
up.
up.
Oh, they're giving away $1,000. Right now we're giving away $600.
Yeah.
Calling out 6 names. You would think we'd find a winner.
yeah.
We had a little string where we went like back to back winners, I think.
did.
Or like
We
it
did.
didn't get that high. It happens.
It builds up. A lot of sins by the time Easter comes around.
Okay. All right. We got one last name. Last call for
Last
money tonight, folks.
Name, kids.
This is the winner. You're on here.
Alright.
It's you,
Mike J. Cole.
Mike
Cole. Oh, Mike Cole. Michael. What's up,
That's
Mike
awesome.
Cole?
That's awesome.
Michael Cole.
Michael Cole.
Michael Cole. Mike Cole. Claim your money.
Oh,
friend.
Mike
Oh.
Mert was like,
Not Mike Cole. Mert.
Mike Cole.
Mike Cole.
That would have been a nice little bonus
Mike
wedding.
That would have
Cole.
been a little bonus wedding present. Aww.
Oh, sorry, Mike.
Man.
Well,
Yeah.
it's a good day of effort. Well, there you go, babe. Congratulations. You get to keep your money, and I know that
but
you're all
next-
about the
next
money.
week it's going to be $700. I feel like that's more of a fire hose of giving.
You think people will start to
I
show
wonder
up
how
at
much
700?
money we've given since we've started this. We should look at
Thousands.
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 10 racks.
Yeah,
10
maybe
racks.
$10,000.
Pat says we've given out at least 10 racks
We
already.
want you guys, because then we know that a lot of times you guys, or win the money and then you utilize that money for great things. Some of you buy tickets that to events.
people have given
some
it
people
away.
have given it away. Some people
Buy
somebody
equipment
bought,
and things they needed.
Yeah, all sorts of things. So we want to give to you. So
Universe always conspires, gets it right. Universe
That's
doesn't
right.
mess up.
don't forget the 5 pitfalls. Work on those things so that you can continue to level up in your life, in your business, so that you can live the lifestyle that you are unabashedly going after. Is that a word?
Yeah, how's your throat? How's your cough?
It hurts.
Stanley.
All right.
Hurts. Don't
Stanley
it?
Steamer, go Heat. Go Heat. I think Heat are going to,
Heating 5.
yeah, I think Heat are going to
Sorry,
close it out.
Knickerbockers.
Sorry, Knickerbockers. I think the Heat want it more than the Knicks, so they're going to close it out. Lakers, however, are not. So we're going to go probably to game 7. It's going to be tough, right? Because the Warriors are going to have to steal one on the road, but we'll see.
Okay.
Lakers are going to try really hard tonight because they want to close it out. They want to get some rest. They got a lot of old fools on that team that need to get some plunge pool baths and stuff. But so do the Warriors. Warriors can't be. They got some young dudes on the Warriors, but they got a couple old dudes that need to do the cold plunge as well.
All right. I need a cold plunge.
And Edmonton Oilers. They think they get the win tonight over the Las Vegas Golden Knights. So there you have it.
Sean might go
Also,
give
by
his-
the way,
his
just want to
betting
let
app,
everybody know. Want to let everybody know that tonight is the next to last episode of Vanderpump Rules.
Oh my
right in the middle of Scandalball. So hey man, if you guys are waiting to, hey, when is this going to wrap up? It's going to wrap up right now. See ya.
See you, kids.